Hello everybody, welcome back to LilyLuLou. If it's your first time visiting, my name's Karen, I'm the Junk Journal Geek, and if you are a returning visitor, thank you very much for coming back and joining me today. Thank you for your feedback on my previous video. I had one lady say that partway through the video the sound went very quiet and she couldn't hear what I was saying no matter how much she turned the volume up. I can't remember your name. If you're watching again, I do apologise. If anybody else has had that issue, please could you let me know, because I didn't change anything all the way through that video, so I'm not sure why it would suddenly, the sound would have suddenly changed. But let me know, and if it's an ongoing issue, then I'm going to have to investigate, microphones and things like that. So please let me know if the sound is an issue for you. So I'm here today to do a flip through of the Day at the Beach journal that I started months and months and months ago. Now that I'm back sort of organised again, I'm trying to get some half completed journals finished. So you are probably going to see some familiar faces over the next few months. So this was a design team project for Sunny Creates. I think I did 2 videos and then it got packed away at the beginning of this year, and I've just unpacked it again. So it's a small journal, it's half A4 size. The cover is made from some sort of box. I think it was a Jacob's cheese cracker box or something like that. So it's it's not a really hard back cover, but it's not just fabric. It measures, let's have a look. I should have done this before I turned video on, really, shouldn't I? But I forgot. So it measures, what's that, 6.5 inches by about 4 inches, and it's about a 3/4 inch spine, almost an inch, and it's covered in this sort of faux silk fabric. Now I have to say that on the back here you can see some of the print from the box coming through, but this is a junk journal. I don't mind that. It's no secret that we use junk to make these, so I don't think that's a problem. The closure is just a thin ribbon, and I've put a little eyelet in the back and tied that on so that it can wrap round, and there's a little charm there of sunglasses attached. On the front here I've put this piece of fabric on. This came from Betty and Ivy. Betty and Ivy have an Instagram account and an Etsy shop, and Jill does beautiful slow stitch kits, things. Lovely fabrics she has, so I recommend you head on over there and have a look. That's where this fabric came from, and with the fringing on the side, that reminded me of a picnic blanket that you'd have if you were spending the day on the beach. And then these photographs on the front are from another digi-kit from Tracy Fox. It is called Coastal Snaps, I believe, and then I've just added this little charm on here of bucket and spade, because it looks like the 2 little girls are going down to the water to fill their bucket up to build their sandcastles. And on the spine here I've just added some of this glorious trim. This came from BB Crafts, and there is a video somewhere back on my channel of the unboxing of that, and it will have the link to this if you are interested. So there are 3 signatures in here. I have covered the insides of the front and back covers, but beneath that if I can go in between a signature, you can probably see better. I did ink the cover, so it's like a sort of a turquoisey blue in there. So as we were opening up on this inside, this is the Digi from Sunny Creates, and again it's called A Day at the Beach, and I will add all the information down below. So on the inside cover here, I have added this piece of gold netting, which sort of reminded me of, you know, fishermen's nets and things you might see on the beach. We've got a tag in there, some of the ephemera from the Digi kit, another photo or two from Tracy Fox's kit, and a little tea card here. It's a Brook Bond tea card, Discovering Our Coast, and I've got a few of these all throughout the book. So we've got kit pages, we've got my own printed pages of the plain colours, and we have tea dyed pages. Again, this is a pocket from the kit. I'm not sure if I said I printed this kit to a page, so it's sort of half the size that it would be. I've got Isle of Wight playing cards in here as well, and just a piece of note paper there in that pocket. And these photographs from the Coastal Snaps kit, I've printed them out in varying sizes. So some of them are at the original size and some are printed at 75% and some at 50%, if you're wondering why they are all different sizes. So again, that's a piece of that note paper that you saw here. This was a leftover piece from this page. And some of the pages have this crinkled seam binding, because that reminds me of the waves lapping the beach. Just got a sticker here on this music paper, because these seahorses to me look like they're dancing around. So I popped it on the music paper. And then we've got another playing card here of the needles on the Isle of Wight. And then I have a little envelope from the kit that I have not stuck together. So that's journaling space, and that's just paper clipped over the top of that page. And the paper clip has a little bit of ric-rac on it for decoration. So that's the centre of the first signature. And as you can see, I've left the strings long, and I've added beads to the end of these strings. I've got some shells here from the beach, and just some other bits and pieces that look pebbly or in the colours that went with the kit. Sorry, I've started this video and I seem to be losing my voice. Again, this is just a piece from the kit that I've made into a tuck spot with a piece from the Digi kit and another one of those photographs. And then on the other side, that's a postcard that I've just made into a flippy out bit for some more journaling space. This is another one of those photographs. Again, I've popped it in as a tuck spot, and then there's a couple of pieces from the kit in there. This, some of the kit pieces I have already backed onto packaging paper. As you can imagine, we've just moved. I've got lots of packaging paper lying around, and some I've just left blank so that whoever gets this journal, you know, can use this for decoration, or they can back it with something to write on it. So I've got some more seam binding there. This journal spot is from the Digi kit, but I've stuck it in as a belly band. And then behind there, we've got another ticket from the kit and another one of those photographs. More tea-dyed paper, more of that notebook page. Then here, again, I have just paper clipped in, and I can't get it out now, an envelope from the kit, and this has been put together as an envelope, and it has another one of those beautiful photographs inside. And then that's clipped on with a paper clip, to which I have added a little charm of a deck chair and an umbrella, which you would also have if you were spending the day on the beach, or you might have if you're spending the day on the beach. So that pops in there. I do need to move this charm back round because it keeps oops, keeps going to the wrong side. There we go. So that's there. More digi pages and more tea dye pages, and that's the end of the first signature. I haven't actually counted how many pages this book's got. Maybe I should have done that. This is from the kit, and again we have a photograph in there from the coastal kit, and another playing card from the Isle of Wight, and another piece of ephemera from the Day on the Beach kit. This tea dyed paper was a little bit damaged. You know, in the process of tea dyeing and drying and ironing, sometimes you get little tears in the paper. So just added a couple of tabs from the kit there just to cover that little tear and strengthen it a little bit. This is obviously ephemera from the kit with another tea card, another photograph, and another piece of ephemera from the kit. I have to say, I haven't named this journal yet, and I will be asking people in my Facebook group to name the journal. So if you would like to make a suggestion, come over to the Facebook group and do that. This is again another piece from the kit that I've just left in as a flappy down piece of journaling space. I added a little sticker there and a little tab there just to show that it does flip down. Lots of these pages I have left blank intentionally so that whoever gets the journal can do with it as they wish. Here I've just staggered 2 of the photographs as pockets and then tucked another 2 photographs inside. More of that beautiful seam binding. And this is the centre page. Max, stop scratching, you're making a noise. You may remember on this digital page, if you did watch one of the previous videos, I've added some gold to the sun rays there, just to add a bit of bling. And again, we've got more beads and shells dangling down there. Again, this is just 2 photographs staggered as pockets, and then I have popped 2 more photographs in just to make that page a bit more interesting. I've absolutely loved working on this because this is really reminiscent of my childhood. We used to spend every weekend and summer holiday, school holidays just outside Clacton in Essex. My nan and granddad had a chalet, and my mum and dad both worked, so that's where my sister and I spent every weekend in the summer and every school holiday. And lots of these photograph, and also we have family in the Isle of Wight, so lots of memories here for me. And this this tea card is quite appropriate because it's the Giant's Causeway, which is here in Northern Ireland where I am right now. So this is just a tatty old piece of trim that again I thought sort of reminded me of bits of netting, you know, that you might find on the beach. And then on this side there were three of these tags in the kit, and rather than cut them out and use them individually, I've folded it into a trifold first of all. Then I've stuck these 2 together to make a pocket here for this journal card, and then I've stuck the back one down on 3 sides as another pocket, and in there's another card and another one of those photographs. And you may remember that my printer was messing about when I first tried to print this kit, and it printed all these funny pages that were all sort of jagged. I don't know what happened, but I didn't throw the paper away because it's still coordinated with the kit. So I've used that to cover these cards to make these journal cards. And again, there's another piece of that netting up there as a little tab. I hope you can still hear me okay and the sound hasn't gone halfway through again. Another pocket there from the kit, and then another playing card, another one of those photographs, another tea card, and another piece of ephemera. More note paper. Another one of those stickers up there. And again, this was a damaged page, so I've just added a couple of tags down there to strengthen that. This is, again, the journal, little journal spot that was part of the ephemera for the kit. I've just stuck it down as a belly band, and behind it I've tucked another couple of pieces of ephemera from the kit. So that's the centre of the last signature. Again, we've just tucked an envelope over the page here, and again that can be opened up and used as journal space. And then on the other side, I have just tucked underneath there a piece of kit ephemera and one of those photographs. So I keep sliding down, don't I? Disappearing out of view. This was a postcard in the kit, so I've just stuck it down as a tuck spot and added a photograph and another piece of ephemera in there. Same thing here, one of those photographs I've just stuck in as a top tuck, and there's a couple of pieces of kit ephemera tucked up there. And then the back cover is basically the same as the front. We've got this gold netting here. The only difference with the back is I've put the eyelet in to tie the closure on, and in there we have a tag from the kit which has been backed, and then we have a couple of those photographs in different sizes and another tea card. So that is the what I'm currently calling the Day at the Beach journal completed. So again, if you'd like to suggest a name for it, please come over to the Facebook group, and we will have a poll with any suggestions that I receive. The group is very quiet at the moment because obviously I haven't been online at all for the last, well, barely at all for the last 6 months, while I wasn't able to do any crafting or videoing or anything. I didn't have time to keep up the Facebook group, but I'm back in there now, and I'd love it if you would pop over there and join me. There is a link below the video, and again all the information regarding this book, the kits I've used, etc., will be listed in the description box below. So thank you ever so much for joining me today. Let me know what you think of this. Let me know if you have a name suggestion, and I will be back again as soon as I can with another video for you all. In the meantime, look after yourselves, take care, and enjoy your own crafty time. Bye bye.